You're getting chased by a horde of enemies. You're outgunned and you're outnumbered. You don't know what to do. And frankly, neither do I. But I do know that I could teach you a strategy to help avert this crisis in video games. The strategy I'll be teaching you today is called the training strategy, but it also can be referred to as hoarding your enemies. The general idea of this strategy is to run in a big circle, hoarding up your zombies in a very predictable fashion. But naturally, it's a little more intricate than that, so I'll be going into the ins and outs of the strategy as well as everything you gotta keep in mind. The materials you'll need for this strategy are a TV, a console of your choosing, a controller that goes to that console, and any video game that this strategy may work on. Now, I'll elaborate on that later, so don't worry. Step 1 is to identify a game where this strategy may work. Now, this strategy won't work with enemies who hold guns or something as their main point of attack, because, their main line of defense for that is to get into a defensive position, is to not, be in cover, to not be hit. But this strategy is all about being in the open and basically running in a circle. So this strategy obviously won't work with people who hold guns. Another precondition to this strategy is that enemies cannot be faster than you. A third precondition is that the AIs have to be reasonably predictable. This is because the strategy solely relies on the fact that AIs are generally more predictable and dumber than us. So if a game developer purposely makes their enemy, their AI, a lot more unpredictable or faster than you, this strategy has little ground to stand on, and it may not work as intended or may not work at all. An example of this not working is in the game Alien Isolation against the opponent, the Xenomorph. Step 2 is to identify your surroundings. You want to know any exit points and you want to know any areas where you'll get blocked or something. For an example, here's one of the exits. This is another exit. This is a place where zombies come from. If I identify all these things, I'll be more aware and know where exactly I run the circle and all that stuff. Step 3, know thine enemy. You want to know your enemy so that you can predict their movements and everything, every little mannerism they have, because you're going to take advantage of that fact or know about it. For an example, these guys are Nova Crawlers. There are certain type of zombies that explode when shot with bullets. Another example, this is a zombie right here. These are the standard types of zombies. They sprint at you, they hit you, they can become crawlers if you blow their legs off. And this is the zombie when they're gone. Step 4, run in a big circle. This is the main part of the strategy and it depends on which room you're in. That's why identifying your surroundings is so important. You want to know the place you are in, know all the little kinks about it, and then you're going to run in a circle. That's a circle. Step 5 and the final step is to don't be afraid to break the circle. Don't be afraid to break the cycle. This is because sometimes you just gotta maneuver. Sometimes zombies will get in your way out of nowhere and you would just have to make a loop-de-around and you can't really worry about it. If you sit there and worry about it or you're so dedicated to the circle, you would you would cut your strategy short and you would probably die. So you want to make sure you know your surroundings so you can make educated decisions on maneuvering past the enemy in order to survive. A good example of this is in the previous clip. In the previous gameplay footage, I was dedicated to making a clockwise circle around the zombies, but I ended up running into a group who was blocking my way. So what I did was I quickly just made a loop around and I went counterclockwise. And the strategy worked out just fine. You just continue the strategy until you could reverse it again. Now that you've learned this simple strategy, you can apply it to other games too, like what I do in this horror game, Outlast. Just gonna do loop-de-loop, gonna find my surroundings, boxes here, gonna curve through the boxes. He's a sluggish kind of guy, but he's almost as fast as me. Maneuver around. And see, this is the training strategy in action. So yeah, that'll wrap it up with all our steps. So whether you play games frequently or not, if you happen to play a game where the opponent meets all the prerequisites, you could try this strategy out. It's pretty simple. By practicing this strategy, you may refine your decision-making skills and your situational awareness so that you take opportunities more fluidly, or you're just generally, you're a faster thinker. Anyways, that'll be it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and see you later.